Hiya guys, Mark here. We just stopped in the car, bikes in the back, and we're going somewhere a little bit different today where we usually go, and it's through the picturesque little valley of Raleigh in South Wales. As you can see here now, it's a 1993 Dyna-tech M-Trax 500. This is my second version of the bike. My other version is the custom all purple optional extra version, which I got safely tucked away. So this is my general daily rider. And we're just going to go for a little run now to check out the GoPro mounts. So this today is a Raleigh Valley Country Park, formerly the Raleigh Valley Railway. Is one of the stations here that was built back in the 1800s, around 1850. This was originally a coal freight line, purely for coal, coming down from Coed or Blackwood. This here would have been the signal station where you had the manual handover key tags, which been handed over to the drivers, etc. as they come through. You've got to turn the bike around to give a better look. And the window you can see over there, on the right hand side, would be the ticket house where people have got their tickets. So we're actually level with the platform now, or stood on where the platform would have been. Yeah, an infamous London cab here on the right hand side up in South Wales. And here we have one of the quarries which would have been mined for the stone for that station by there. That's literally where the stone was taken from for the buildings along this track. They didn't have to go far for material in the 1800s. It was literally dig into the mountain, get what you want, and off you go. We're not going to be stopping every single bit of the way, just long enough as to give everything a nice shake down, make sure everything's running nice and smooth for the year. My Dynatechs, I don't run them through the winter. They're stripped down. Cleaned and put away. I will be getting my Ogre out at some point, my Ogre XCE. But only I know is going to be a day where there's no rain. She's literally in showroom condition after 30 years, and she only comes out very rarely. And this time of day is perfect. We're just after 1 o'clock. All the kids are in school, everybody's in work. My carers are at home with my mother looking after her. So, just like Rowan, if you're watching this, Rowan, this is one of the rare afternoons where I get a few hours to myself and enjoy it. Now incidentally, this route here is absolutely perfect for your superb or Raleigh 3-speed. Okay, this was a 2-tier split. There's another railway line down over there to our right, which we're not going to today. So you had the north line and the south line. There's the passing loop on our right hand side over there. Drop it down here and just quickly squeeze through. Hiya. Hiya. For those of you that want to speed through, carry on. But this is a nice relaxing ride this afternoon for me. It's about an hour up and an hour down. Doesn't look so on the camera, but it's a roughly, I think it's about 1 in 5 gradient. Now we're passing through a halt here. We already come a mile along the track, but the halt would have come up here on our right hand side as we just passing. Where coal would have been offloaded into the lower tracks. It was returning full for some reason, and the southern line I'll look at now, which is pretty much washed away. I'll get off the bike for this because I don't trust myself or this banking on this slope, because originally a lot of the coal would have been taken by barge before the lines were put back in the 1830s, 1840s. Robert Trevethan up in Merthyr Tydfil pioneered the world's first locomotive powered railway about 20 miles away from here, and some of the original tracks still exist from around about 1820, I think it was. Okay, so now we look down over here now, you can see why I won't venture any further, because it's crumbling away underneath where I'm stood. Like I say, it's a beautiful area. There's somebody down here as well, enjoying the view. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick look at the bike. Fall over. I see it's a 1993 M-Trax 500. Titanium frame, made by Dynatech, Technium in America. There's a 2120 frame on this one. I do have a 2125 in Yoga XCE. Chroma composite frame, bonded frame, no welding at all on this bike. It's all glued together using aircraft epoxy. Shimano X's group set is completely original from when I bought the bike in 1993. In fact, everything on the bike is original apart from the new front brake blocks which I fitted last week. The rubber had gone a little bit tough, and I got a new pair on the way for the rears as well. They are the original brake blocks. Okay, off we go again. Should power up the front camera. This is the one, as you can see, with the smashed screen, which one of my carers, mother's carers, done. We're going to use it in a second to film across to the right hand side. Here you can see some of the views we got around you. Hiya. Nice. So she's a lovely old girl, this. 93, 2025, so she'll be 33 this year. Jesus, makes me feel old. Now there's a little story about this bike. start of COVID, I had to sell or I was skint. I lost my job, etc. So things had to go. And I only managed to track it down and buy it back last summer. So I was without the old girl just for a short bit of time. And the guy instead, he used the bike as a winter hack around London, riding it to the train station, leaving it chained up over the day and collecting in the evening. So I got back in this condition at all is quite beyond me. Okay, this was another ramp on the right hand side of here where things was offloaded into the valley below. We see today is fenced off, caged off, but the pontoon would have extended out over the river here, and you see the second lower track on the right hand side where a coal hopper was offloaded. It could have been iron ore coming into this valley, dumped into another train and gone up the next valley to the steelworks at Ebervale with iron ore for the mines brought up from Port Talbot. Okay, so a little look at the views, the mountains we got around here. See, it's perfect mountain bike conditions. In fact, I'd say this is what they was intended for. We're not going down over the low levels, like I said today. We're going to keep that for another day. So the railway lines around here generally went in around 1830. With this is the first freight railway by Trevethen, or Trevethik. Is it Trevethik or Trevethen? Trevethen, I'm sure it's Trevethen, because Pontypool was named after him. Right, okay. Hi boys. Hi. Nice to see the kids out having some fun. Mind you, they are in their 30s, but to me they're still kids. Now, as you can see ahead now, it's a lovely long straightaway. And coming back down here, if I'm on my Voodoo Hoodoo, I have clocked about 35 miles an hour coming back this way, unassisted, no racer, just an old man and a mountain bike. Incidentally, no speedo on this bike, no bike computer, nothing, because that's how she was in 1993 when I bought her. Okay, I hit the camera off now and switch it back on when we pass this straight. No point filming the straight road. Okay, now it's time. 5-minute rest. We're going to break into the toe peak stuff sack. Here's how you can get a fair old bit of gear into here. There are my keys, my wallet, house keys, tobacco, and some other stuff. So I have a bag, drink of water, and we continue. Incidentally, here's the path we just come up with. It is about a 3-mile climb. I don't think I get a gradient from me, but I was down in lower chain ring on the front and 18th on the rear. And we're on the rise now. We got another 2.5 miles of climbing ahead before we reach the halt We turn and have a nice gentle ride back down. Like I say, she's still pretty much in immaculate condition, apart from that one sticker which I want to replace it on the other side, where I've got a custom set made for it, all the way from a retro bike. And a friend of mine in I made it in Norway. I think it was Norway, or was it Sweden? But the old Dynatech, she is doing brilliant. Okay guys, a little bit of a stop here, just have a look around. As you can see here now, the countryside is all being cut down. This is the Forestry Commission, or Welsh Government as we like to call it, harvesting these beautiful forests. As you can put in, as you can see in the distance up there, so the camera pick it up, wind turbines, and they're covering the tops of all the mountains at the moment in South Wales with wind turbines and solar panels on a green belt charge issue. Now the problem we got is each one of these trees soaks up roughly a gallon of water per day. There's a conifer, so there's 1,000 trees gone there. So that's roughly an extra 1,000 gallons of water a day coming into the rivers, which is causing flooding, which has made national news of the excess amount of water. So who's creating the extra water? The government, by taking away the very things that's absorbing the water and preventing landslides and floods. That's our leaders in charge for you. Okay then, so we come up now to our next waypoint, Cwmbeli Bar, where we just come from, is back 2 miles. To our left, which is over that way, is Innersea, Wiley ahead, and roughly 5 minutes to Wiley, which is just outside of Blackwood, Coed. Now, it's one of the things that does spoil this trail is every mile they decide to put these bollards in. Now, the result of all the trees being cut down, as you can see, this is where it's been heavy rain and it's brought down a river from above of all the spillage coming down off the mountain. So you can see here now where all the mountain has slipped away with the rain the last couple of weeks and brought out on the path, so it's creating another hazard. So a government creating a hazard, who'd have thought it? Never heard of that one before. Okay, so we're on to our next section now of Raleigh. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier on, the 2 tracks joined into one. This is the actual 2 lines, 2 tracks joining here. The 1 track on the left, the other railway track here on the right. The house down on the left, which we just passed, we passed again on our way back, I'll stop and show you, was the junction house where you hand all your keys to enter each junction. But there, as I said, that's another junction house where you would either pay off to the right, to the Gwent Valleys, or to the left to carry on to Blackwood, which would then take you on around the heads of the valley to Crumlin Viaduct, which was in a famous film, I can't remember, starring Gregory Peck, where they actually fly an helicopter under the viaduct back in the 1970s, I believe it was. Okay, so a quick drink of water now with my camelback and head back down. So it's a 5-mile climb all the way from Cross Keys to Blackwood, but a 1 in 6 gradient. So if you're out of condition, an older rider like I am, this is an excellent ride to come along to break you back into things, to build up the muscles in your legs, to get you back into the swing of things. If you try and go for a big ride like Penarvan, and you've ridden for years, bad mistake. You will damage the muscles in your legs because they're not used to the strain. Right, we zipped up, off we go. I do know from experience on this run, I do it every year, average speed back is around 15 to 20 miles an hour. If I'm on my Voodoo, I get around 25-30 miles an hour on the way back. So we're in 18th now. You know, in the top first, bottom rear, or will be. '19th, 20th, 21st. Okay, we're in top gear now. I wouldn't be able to do this on my old Maverick, because she is on the way back. I would, she'd be a nice cruising bike, 15th gear, sit back and let it go. Put the front camera on, give you a sense of speed. Incidentally, this old bridge here is again built in the 1800s. Okay. Switching the one camera off. Yeah, I'm not pedaling now. Pop her up a gear. Okay, we're in primary gear now. Into 21st. And we can pick up a bit of speed now. And wore an old house by here. Down on the left hand side, you ain't gonna see it, is the old railway hotel. These are called because we had a halt just down by here for the miners going to the colliery, and the hotel down on the left hand side would have been where a lot of the miners would have lived through the week. Little bed and breakfast. And this here is the remains of the halt. So the trains were literally stopped on the track by here. On the left hand side over there is the Embark station. See the ramp coming up here as well on the left, and across on the right hand side here would be the subway for the people northbound. Building up speed again now. We're building up speed again now. Now 20th gear. A little bit of wind noise. Now I last greased all the hubs etc. on this bike 10 years ago, easy 10 years ago. I was in my late 30s, so more than likely she's long overdue a good service as well. So I think I'll be an upcoming video on the channel as well, I think. But there's no play in the cranks, there's no play in the bearings. The XA group set is working fantastic. I say the bike is bomb proof. People used to complain about these, the frames separating etc., the bonded frames. Well, I've had this 1993, 32 years. I haven't had a problem. Only thing I had a problem with was the Sally Royale saddle falling apart. Apart from that, nothing. Raleigh used to make a great bike. Hey, ding ding. Alright, drop down a few cogs. We now coming to the 9 Mile Point junction. Called 9 Mile Point because we're 9 miles from Newport Central, hence 9 Mile Point. Okay, now you can see here now the original height of the track to where we are to where it was. You can see where the track bed has been risen over the years, because this road here originally, you can see some of the bollards only on the left hand side would have passed under the railway track, and up the top of the hill up here on our right, as we see in the distance, is a youth hostel. Now this in the winter, take it from here, is sheet ice all the way down as the rain and rivers run down freezes. I've been down through here many times delivering with a lorry, and there's no way in a million years back in the day a dray with a horse and cart would have took supplies up there. And the poor horse, by the time we got to the top, it must have been dying. A bit of a sniffy nose. To my knowledge, I'm a 5th generation drayman or truck driver. My grandfather and my great grandfather were a drayman. He used to work for Webb's Brewery in Aberby. Afternoon. And I got a picture somewhere, I'll try and find it, of my great grandfather. He used to, for the hills around South Wales, to pull the barrels of beer up and down. He used to drive a span of 6 horses, 6 beautiful shires for the hills of South Wales. And Webb's eventually shut in around 1984. Whereas my uncle Paddy, he was the last drayman for a long while who drove for Webb's in Aberby, which was eventually bought out by DHL Distribution and repositioned at Ebervale, where I went to work for a while. So I was a drayman again in the family for several years. So altogether for Webb's brewery in Aberbeek, there's been a Griffiths or a Hooker driving for him for the last 140 years.
Alright then guys, that's gone the end of this video here. We're going to wrap it up. It's only me
140 years of delivering beer, can't believe it.
So thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next one. And maybe on the next video we'll pick it up here on one of my other bikes and continue on for another day. So hit the old like, share, subscribe with your notifications bell.
Beer. Can't believe it.
And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks and bye bye.